And that's a big question in the SAP marketplace, right?
Yeah. And this is what SAP doesn't want you to know. There's two things you just shared that SAP does not want you to know. One is they say they're cutting off support in 2030 for ECC. You mentioned Rimini Street. There's others like Spinnaker, third-party SAP support providers that will provide support for ECC at least until 2040. And I imagine they'll probably go even longer. But for right now, they've said they'll support ECC through 2040. So right there's a lifeline that buys you 10 more years. And especially if you've just implemented, we have one client based in Nebraska that we're just starting to work with. And they had just finished implementing ECC, I think 2 or 3 years ago. And it was part of a multi-year big global transformation. So it took them a long time to go through it. They finished the implementation like 2 years ago. And they were saying like a year or two before they even finished the implementation, SAP was already breathing down their neck saying, hey, it's time to upgrade to S/4HANA. And their view was, wait, our business case is a 7-year business case. We need 7 years of business value to justify this big, massive ECC investment we just made. So no, thanks, but no thanks. We're not going to upgrade to S/4HANA.
We're still depreciating it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let us get the value. Let us get our footing on what we just did. We're not going to go through this again. So I think looking at what your lifelines are, and if your lifeline is going to be third-party maintenance, great. If your lifeline might be the second thing that SAP doesn't want you to know, which is put in a Palantir or a Snowflake or some other AI tool that ends up becoming that layer that gives you some immediate value with a lot less time, cost, and risk and heartache to go along with that. So I think that's the way to think about it, is what can we do to mitigate the risk that the vendors are imposing on us, and how can we continue to run our business the way we want to run our business and do it in a way that aligns with our needs, not necessarily that of our software vendor. I think that's the way you've got to think through it and not worry too much about vendor A, B, or C telling you you've got to get off that system because it's old. I mean, honestly, who cares? We still have some clients that are coming to us saying, hey, we're still running an iSeries or an AS400 based homegrown system. I would not advise you. I wouldn't advise you do that, but I'm just saying there's so many companies that they've let it ride. They sweat the assets for 40 years. That for some companies, it just makes sense, right? I mean, it's not a terrible thing to use old technology.
Yeah.
The technologists in us all want to say, don't do it. It's old, outdated technology. Move to the cloud, get analytics and BI and all the cool stuff. The technologists in us might think that, but you have to look at it more from the business perspective and say, does it give us value? It sounds cool, but is it going to give us value?
Think about this too in different industries, like PE firms, where you have a portfolio of different businesses that are running different software systems. Like one may be running ECC, another one may be running Oracle or something else. As you're bringing those together under a single corporate umbrella, and you're trying to get insights and information out of all of those businesses and run them as a single entity, this interoperability layer allows you to continue to keep those somewhat independent businesses running on that software system that works for them, right? Over a longer period of time. So reducing change, reducing risk. This is a new way of bridging to that true transformation for organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's an interesting question from X again. The question is, with AI changing the face of technology, should we expect to see more startups, and how can ERP help? So do you think there's more tech startups that are forthcoming given the trends and the changes and the seismic shifts in the market that we're seeing right now?
Oh, I think you will agree, Eric. The advent of AI, machine learning, is really just creating a whole new industry surrounding AI. Some of the proprietary tools that we use are different constructs, different, and allowing for a different methodology than we'd even thought of 2 years ago. So even third stage is evolving as we create our own intellectual property surrounding these tools. That's going to cause proliferation of new businesses coming in with new capabilities to address problems and gaps that we've seen in the past with enterprise systems and deployments. Deployments in months instead of years has been the target of moving to the cloud and moving to multi-tenant structures for years and years. But now you add robotic automation for testing, for instance, in implementations and things like that. It's going to speed implementations. It's going to cause a whole new marketplace of ecosystem partners that are available to people that use these tools.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say now is a really good time to start.